guys, this is Dhruv. So let's say you're in India, you're looking for a tablet under 20,000 rupees with a full HD display. Well, you're out of luck. There just isn't any option out there, which is very absurd because you can get a smartphone with a 1080p display for half that cost. So then, do you settle for mediocre 720p tablet which looks like it comes straight out of 2012? Not necessarily. I did some searching around and I found the Lenovo Tab 3 8 Plus. Now, this has a 1080p display, a Snapdragon 625 processor, expandable memory, all of that good stuff. And I landed up getting it from GearBest. I imported it here to India for around 15,000 rupees.
But the question is it worth it?
Let's find out. So this tablet isn't made out of metal, but kind of a felt material that wraps around the back and size of this device. And I actually sort of like it. Alright, it's not as premium feeling as an iPad or the Galaxy Tab S, but it's actually more practical because that texture gives it a good grip to hold on to, and the back doesn't attract fingerprints either, which is a plus. But you know what does attract fingerprints? That screen. Yeah. After 10 minutes of using it, it's a smudge fest. Lenovo should have really included a better oleophobic coating if they're using one at all. Yeah, not that pretty. You know what is pretty? That display. It's an 8-inch IPS LCD panel with a resolution of 1920 by 1200, which is basically full HD with 120 extra horizontal pixels, giving this tablet an aspect ratio of 16:10. It's got pretty good colors, sharp text, good viewing angles. It's also got a few display modes you can toggle to get a cooler or warmer tone. Look, it really seems like Lenovo didn't cheap out in the display area of the tablet, except maybe in one small area, the brightness. It's not the brightest display out there. For indoor use, it's perfectly fine, but if you go outdoors and use it, it might give you some problems. Now, that being said, I don't think you might use it outdoors because it comes in a Wi-Fi only model. There's no cellular option on this. But overall, it's a pretty good display and best in class, easily. The speakers on this tablet complement that display pretty well. You get two speakers out here, one on the top and another on the bottom of the device, which come with Dolby Atmos enhancements, which I recommend you leave on. Now, as cool as it is to have two speakers with Dolby Atmos, it's better not to get too excited. They sound good, great, the clarity is good, and they have decent stereo separation, but they aren't as full sounding as the one on the 2017 iPad. That being said, these two speakers are significantly louder than the iPad, which I prefer. The two cameras that the tablet packs are an 8 megapixel sensor on the back and a 5 megapixel sensor on the front. Now the front camera is pretty decent. It's wide angle, so it's good for video calls. You don't have to hold it too far away. But the 8 megapixel rear camera is really unremarkable. You know what? It's a tablet. And aside from, let's say, not looking flattering while taking pictures with this, I'm pretty sure your smartphone will have a better shooter anyways. What might actually be similar to your phone is the processor that this tablet is packing. It's the trusted and reliable Snapdragon 625 used in many phones this year. Performance is pretty smooth and a decent amount of apps are kept in memory with the 3 gigs of RAM. Weirdly, the only place I noticed hiccups was while loading the subscription tab in the YouTube app, which happened every time the app reloaded. That being said, the Adreno 506 GPU makes sure even demanding games run at pretty respectable frame rates without any lag. Another thing that helps this device run smoothly is that it's pushing near stock Android here, and the only customizations are the ones Lenovo's included, which are basically its own launcher and a few icons. But, and that's a big but, the software running on this is Android 6.0, which is 2 years old at this point. There are serious concerns as to whether this tablet will ever get upgraded to Nougat, forget Oreo. Considering Lenovo's recent track record and the fact that their upgrade matrix page doesn't even list this tablet, I'm really doubtful about software support out here, and I highly doubt it's ever going to get upgraded to the next version of Android, which would really be a shame. What's also a bit of a shame is the endurance. Now with a 40 to 50 mAh battery and that efficient Snapdragon 625, I was really excited when I got this tablet, but it just doesn't hold up. With just above a day of use, I was getting through with around 5.5 to 6 hours of screen on time, which isn't terrible, but it's disappointing for a tablet which most people would be using for video streaming and gaming. Now, just to put this into perspective, with similar usage on my OnePlus 5, I'm able to get around 6.5 to 7 hours of screen on time. One more thing to keep in mind is that this tablet has been imported and Lenovo isn't selling this product in India, so don't expect any official service support. Your call whether you'll be able to live with the compromises mentioned above. But that being said, if you're in India and you're planning to buy this, I still don't feel you'll get a better tablet experience under 20,000 than the Lenovo Tab 3 8 Plus. Well, one option is to import the Xiaomi Mi Pad 3, which would cost you around 20,000. I haven't used this personally, so here's a card to a review that might help you out. Weirdly, actually, another product you might want to wait for is Lenovo's own Tab 4 8 Plus, which Lenovo announced just a couple of months after launching this one. Now that comes with a slightly larger battery and a better build, though it's available in very few markets right now and might be difficult to import. Now, if you're willing to extend your budget slightly, and more importantly, if you're willing to enter Apple's walled garden, I would suggest you give the 2017 iPad a serious consideration. In fact, I have one with me. I'll be planning to do a review on this once iOS 11 drops, so you can subscribe if you're interested in seeing that and more tech videos. Anyways, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you guys. You can leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.